Today we're once again speaking about love and music, and I've got with me here the lead viola player for the Jerusalem Symphony Orchestra. Is that correct? Jerusalem Symphony Orchestra, is that what we call it? Yeah. Itamar Ringel. I'm Vicki Lavin-Pell, marriage and family therapist, and we are talking once again about the concept of music and love. And I thought, in light of the fact that it is Rosh Hashanah, the Jewish New Year, we should talk a little bit about love and music in relation to newness, right? There are so many concepts, when it comes to love and music and the newness of music and the excitement that comes with the newness. And I think that there's an excitement with everything new. You know, we've got a new year upon us. We've had a few challenging years. It's 2022, 57, 83 we're going into this year, right? 57, 83. Yeah, and is the Jewish New Year, and so we're really looking forward to it. I think everyone's looking forward to it. It's been a very challenging couple of years with Corona, and we've fully come out of it now. B'li'an hara, tfu tfu, I should say, and we're excited about this new year. And I thought it'd be great. Let's talk a little bit about love and newness and some of the concepts. And so we were just having a chat before about about love and newness and the elements in music.
Yeah.
What are some of the concepts?
And I was claiming that, with every, let's say we talk about love, we talk about falling in love, we talk about new love, and the concept of finding someone new that you've never met before in most cases. And I was claiming that actually when you find someone new that you fall in love with, you actually you have kind of this echo within yourself, and in which you actually find kind of a piece of yourself hidden in that other person, and therefore and actually that falling in love is actually, it may be a little narcissist falling in love back with yourself, or with your kind of yourself as you remembered yourself when you were young, or like a piece of yourself that you lost. And then finally you actually refine it in that other person. So it's kind of the ebb and flow of the ocean, that you go forward, but actually also go backwards to yourself in a way. You kind of refine yourself, or refine yourself in a new situation. So yeah.
It's interesting because one of the concepts of love that I've learned is that we really look for people that are familiar to us, and you're saying it's a familiarity within yourself, but usually when we find a partner, we're really looking for something that is familiar from our past with our parents, right? We're looking for our imago, is what it's called. And so we will find someone or some sort of familiarity, that just something that makes us feel like, oh, I know that person, or there's something about this person that just feels comforting to me, that feels like I know this, I got this.
Yeah.
And also I think sometimes people go for the opposite, this this thing of, oh, I don't know what this is, I don't get this. Right? I think I find that people do one or the other. They either go for what's very familiar to them and comforting, or they want that excitement, so they go for something that's totally off base of what they really know.
Yeah. But even if they go very, very far into someone that is actually so different from themselves, I think that something about their inner yearning, or about their kind of inner personality, that is kind of reflected in that other person. Either that, or that they actually, their combination is something that is very comforting, like their togetherness is something that is very comforting, not necessarily the individuals, but the atmosphere or the way that they
intersect.
Yeah,
absolutely. And I think when it comes to music and newness, just bringing it back to that, because you don't really know all these things. There's all this subconscious stuff that's going on when you're falling for somebody, when that falling in love thing initially happens. But there's these hopes and dreams that we all bring into that when we're first starting to meet someone and falling for them and getting excited about that, right?
Yeah.
And so I'd like to talk a little bit about how the music creates this element of hopefulness, this hope, this concept of what I want to be, you know?
Yeah.
And fear, of course, all the different emotional elements that go into it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was another interesting questions we talked about. How does music create? How does music reflect emotions in general? And so first of all, I think that there are no solid sets of rules of how music directly transfers to any kind of emotion. And that also relates to kind of everything we spoke also in our previous meeting. That if there were kind of a very clear set of rules how to compose music, how to write music, then the whole process would be very, very easy to undertake. But
and falling in love would be easy as well.
Yeah.
Ironically, right?
But
Bing, bang, boom, do this, and off you go. You found your partner.
But I feel like what music, what art, what expression asks us, or communication asks us to do is actually if we want to reflect the truth of our moment, the truth of our emotions, the truth that lies within ourselves, then there's always a kind of a struggle to communicate it to other people, because it just if it's too easy, then it means we're not really true. It means because every moment or every person or every emotion is very particular, very individual, and in order to bring that out, we have to kind of to create the language to express it. And then therefore we talked about the laws, like how does music reflect this, or how does music generally express a certain kind of emotion. So there are some general rules, or let's say there are general things that you should maybe not do in order to express something. But otherwise, because you have a very particular mix of emotions, a very particular individuality, then you kind of need to find the rules to find a way to express what you're feeling inside, if you want to express it truly. And I'll bring a kind of memory that I have from my late teacher, Andre Haidu. And he was already like over 70 at the time when I asked him. I just talked to him and I said, do you feel when you compose that you already know what to do, that you have your language, you created your own like musical language? And he said, no, it's I always go into the unknown. I always discover myself anew, because I start writing and then I realize I never knew myself before, and I need to reconnect with who I am and what I'm doing. And he said that's like the whole excitement about creating something, that you always kind of rediscover yourself.
Absolutely.
And like make yourself like new laws or new ways of to express, to bring something out. So that's a very important concept. I think a lot of people really think, and I think that certainly people in their 20s and 30s often think, by the time I'm 40 and 50, I'll have this all figured out. And you don't. And I think that's a good thing. I mean, there's obviously, you want to feel a little bit more like you know yourself when you're in your 40s and 50s, but I think then you get to new plateaus, and then you kind of think like, well, actually, I haven't thought about this, or I haven't been exposed to that. I mean, hopefully we're constantly recreating ourselves. And that's a very, that ties right into the whole concept of a new year, right? It's being able to reflect on all the stuff that happened in the last year and think about what are the things that I really I learned about myself this year, what are the things that I loved about this year that I want to bring forward, what are the things I want to do really differently, and recreate myself and make myself anew. And so too with the relationship, right? And I think that this is the challenge, right, of the newness within a relationship, is that there's something super exciting and there's something very appealing about a new relationship, right? But then things kind of, as you get to know the person, or you think you know the person because you think you know yourself and you think you know the other person, then things start to can become dull, right? And I think that this is really the challenge within all of us, is to constantly be finding that newness within us, that excitement within us, doing different things, challenging our ways of thinking about things, always, so that we can always bring that freshness and newness to the relationships, so that we could renew a relationship, right? So for this year, this new year, I want to really invite you guys to think about the concept of how can you
think about how to not just make this year new for you, but how can you bring this newness to the relationships that you encounter, whether it be your loving relationship with your partner, your children, your work colleagues, the people that you inspire. And hopefully we should all feel a lot of newness and aliveness and keep this feeling of newness and aliveness within us throughout the year. Yeah. Okay, so let's wish everybody a Shana Tova, Umtuka, and we hope to come up with some more new content for you over this coming year. All right? Okay.